please welcome to the stage Dr. Amy Acton, compassionate, bold, trailblazer.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? All right. Well, it is wonderful to be with you here today. This is not my normal format, as you know, but I never take a moment like this for granted. All of us being here together this way, I hope we don't. And I've already changed what I'm going to say based on the amazing experiences I've had today listening to folks. So we'll see where this goes. So this is how you first, most of you got to know me, not all, but many of you. And quite honestly, I'm a very ordinary person who found herself in an extraordinary moment in the crosshairs of history. It was the honor of a lifetime to serve in this way. I can't say enough. But I have to tell you, it wasn't I who flattened the curve. It was Ohioans who moved mountains and flattened the curve. There's no order I could have written. It was really much more about the way we all rode together and inspiring that. And we talked in our state a lot about brutal honesty, vulnerability, and courage, and empowering others. And in this together, the Not All Heroes Wear Capes, these memes came together. Act on love, not hate was a sign. And we started to say, act on love, not hate, kindness, not fear, because we knew there was a contagion worse than a virus, and that is fear. Everything we learned is about One Health. One Health is about animal, human, and the environment being one large ecosystem. And that's exactly what a zoonotic disease is. And I've spent my whole life trying to thread that needle. And in public health, I came about loving this career and yearning for blue zones where people live longer, healthier lives because of how I grew up as a child in Youngstown, Ohio. Many of you know I had a rough childhood, but things saved me. Books. One of my favorite books was Charlotte's Web, so that was foreshadowing. Being out in nature and being able to run free, and quite honestly, the kindness of strangers and a few random people who let me know I mattered. Now, one of the places I loved to run around was Mill Creek Park. This was a park in Youngstown, if you're familiar, that was designed by Frederick Law Olmsted. Frederick Law Olmsted was not a landscape architect. He was actually a gentleman farmer and a journalist who covered the South during slavery. Lincoln tapped him to run the Sanitation Bureau during the Civil War, and that eventually became the American Red Cross, which was public health, which led him to enter a contest in a time of disruption to try to heal a city right before it was going to explode in growth, and he created what he calls lungs for the city. That's how that came about, and I want you to know this is our moment in this region to create lungs for our city. Can you imagine New York City if they hadn't claimed that and the growth filled in? And as William said, we're about to grow by so much. This is our chance in Central Ohio, and quite honestly in Ohio writ large, to claim nature and put nature at the heart of our lives. So not too long after the pandemic, I discovered a book, thank you, Kirsten Carr, that was a designs made by many people in this room included, that looked anew at our 5 waterways. It was Rivers and Parks Imagination Design. And we discovered that we have 145 miles of water right in the heart of our city that many of us take for granted. We saw them as drainage ditches. Look at this picture. That is the water coursing through our area. It almost looks like a heart, doesn't it? And we want to put nature at the heart of our lives. It's something we all discovered during the pandemic. It was the one place we could all go to be safe. And it is common ground. It's one of the last things it's the least partisan bastions left. And this vision took into account all the social determinants of health. It started to imagine the largest integrated park system in the country. But at the top of that pyramid was how we live. It leads with joy and recreation, which we all need to be healthy. We all discovered. Sometimes I tease that I'm just kayaking, but underneath it all, I'm still doing public health. What we've learned from the science is profound. Nature creates states of awe and wonder. It heals you. It actually changes your biochemistry. Smelling sap from a tree changes neurotransmitters in your brain. Nature is not a luxury. It's actually essential to our well-being. We also have to steward these waterways. We have a chance to save these for generations to come. Do you know when they did the downtown river, it took one EPA agent with 6 volunteers to hand carry mussels to protect the environment? And we get to do this for 145 miles so that we make sure it is there for generations to come. Also in this plan was new minority business creation all along the corridors. This has been hugely successful in cities like Atlanta, the Beltline, the Bayous, the High Line, but it was also outdoor classrooms so kids can engage in awe and wonder because we know there is nature deficit disorder. Underneath it all, it had new ways of transportation. My favorite drawing from the plans, which I'll invite you to look at, is Hanford Village, a city that was cut off by redlining, by the highways coming through. And this plan literally had ways to bridge back to Alum Creek, redo the silos, and create new climbing walls. Overarching all of these things, housing, nature, education, were arts, history, and culture. All throughout these park systems, we learned, for instance, that Alum Creek was the liquid path to freedom for slaves because people used the sycamores to navigate at night. There is so much beauty here. There's stickers on your tables with QR codes to look at, but I invite you to join me in this journey, in this moment. We can go 2 ways. We will grow, but will we grow well? This is the chance to build the cities of our dreams, the cities worthy of human affection, where we just vibrate differently. Yes, we'll get the largest integrated park system in the world, but what I really want is for us to connect to nature and one another like never before. Thank you so much.